Yeah, let's tie this shit up, bro. Alright, so quickly I just thought I'd take you through the mind of Northern Scripture while he's creating. So this was my first fly attempt, and 2 hours after that I was unimpressed, and quickly moved on to my second design, which I guess I lasted a little bit longer happy with it. But it turned out pretty good. I learned a lot. I guess it's not really fly tying, it's more like bug tying. But as you can see, what I did with the wings is I wrapped them prior to putting them on and then used green thread. And then just when I wrapped it around, I just did a couple loops with thread to hold it down and then glued the ends down to make them look like legs. But like always, I'm like, I can do better than this. So without further ado, let's get into the how-to bug tie. So I got some pieces of styrofoam wrapped around, and then I put some thread over it. Now, I don't really know how well that works with the buoyancy. I haven't really done too many fly tyings or bug tyings, but that'll have to be that. The last one I made did sink eventually in time, but super slow, so maybe a good jerk bait, you know. If you can get a good cast, it gets a cast. So for the tail, I've prior attached them all in the design that I was chasing, and then just wrapped a little tiny piece of thread around while I was holding them in place, and then put a drop of glue to hold that all down. So when I attach that, everything's going to stay nice and specific to how it is designed. So we put them on. I had 2 of them, 1 for each side, so they mirror each other. And it also gives it a little bit full. So there's 2 of these colors on this side and 2 on the other side. So I used a little bit different of a hook. It's got the down part at the front. Not sure if that's going to make a big difference, but here's another piece for the tail that's going to lie over the top. I didn't attach that yet. I didn't think I was going to, but then I decided that it could look a little bit more full, so I will apply that like that before the next step, which will be the first set of small wings, which again, like the tail, I've attached them all together and glued them in a stock so that I can easily apply these, and they will all stay pretty uniform while they're on the body and in the water, as opposed to my bucktails where all the feathers are loose, kicking around, doing a thing. So, there we go. Nice close up. So, nice and thin, as I said. 2 sides mirror each other. Get that look going. Try to keep it thin though, and I don't want to put too much weight on it. And then this piece here is going to tuck around the back, almost like a shade, like a hat shade. Then these 2 smaller sets will be kicking at the back as a small set of feathers, kind of like a dragonfly look, going to be kicking here, or butterfly. You can decide. Probably more butterfly. So, prior to putting those wings on, I decided to change my mind to go with a little bit of white and deer fur to give a little added look and detail to it. So, I wasn't rushing anything when I made this, so I definitely got to go all out with it. And here's what I did. I used some of the fluffy stuff from the back of the feathers, just pulled it off there on the edge, or cut it off, and wrapped it around just like that. It was pretty simple. And then, you know, just I wrapped once with thread, then cut the back end off. So that's why we still got a lot of extra there. So we will go in. It's pretty key to trim that up to your desired angle, and to kick down on excess size. You don't want to just bulk up too fast. You can get carried away with how big things get wrapped if you keep the ends on. So we trim this up nice and tight, get her down there into size, and we went ahead and put that deer fur on. Oh snap. Oh yeah. Man, this even looks good like this, something big like that. You know, I think I might make something like that in the future, but I wanted to show you I left the other end on because when you pull extremely tight, I had to make like almost a little rivet in there. So I bunched up a little bit of string to make a V so that I could tighten this down and keep it all snug up to the white. But we'll go in and trim off that end just like we did with the white. Get it back down nice and tight. Jiggity jiggity. So we got some pipe cleaner. My homie hooked up with it. Yeah. So we're going to wrap that around the little lip, the little V shape that we have there up against the fur. So as you can see, we'll just tuck that in there nice and tight. And then we will go and apply the back. Yeah. She's going to look tight. Not going to lie, I'm pretty excited. I hope you're excited too. Shit. But then again, the thumbnail probably spoiled the picture anyway, so you know what it's going to look like. But if you didn't, it'd be pretty sick. So yeah, we'll just tuck these in there underneath the pipe cleaner. Wedge that in nice and tight. So it looks like it's right coming out of the body. Cut down on having too much on there too with the pipe cleaner. Kind of makes it all filled out. It's nice and puffy. Alright. So we wedge that in there. Wrap that pipe cleaner around tight. Put a lot of glue. Well, maybe not a lot, but enough to make sure that these feathers, you know, if they get attacked, well, they're not going anywhere. So I did trim the pipe cleaner down really small. I really didn't use too much. So I just wrapped it around twice. Once around the joint part that I made the V to start it to get a nice good hold, and then once around to hold the back feathers in place. So that is what she looks like so far. We got the small set in there. You can still see a little bit of the fur and the white. I think it really accents the tail properly with the brown body. So it's pretty tight. It's looking all right. So we'll move on. Now we got a little bit of a smaller piece on there, a little bit of that extra I attached, and we're gonna put these legs. I wrapped just a stem of a feather with a little bit of thread to get this little bit better leg effect going on there of a dragonfly. I'm not gonna get too detailed with it, and I don't want to make them too stiff, so it is really thin. And I'm thinking about putting a little bit of green fluff in between some of these threads, maybe down in there tight. Kind of make it look speckled almost, like spots, brown and green. And then we got our two big main wings here, which I pre-assembled, like the rest and the patterns that I thought were appropriate. Those are the backs. Spots on the backs, big blacks with stripes and dots on the tops. Alright, so we got our legs on first. Let's walk before we run. Jason! So these are just in a general position. Once we're gonna wrap one more small piece of pipe cleaner, that little piece that's hanging off the end. I'm gonna wrap that around so that'll cover everything up really nice in there. We'll fix up those legs later. But it looks up pretty good. I could even, you know, it could be shortened down to finish off just looking like this. You know, if it was going to be smaller, even that, I'd be happy with even that. Put some crazy eyes on it. Got that neck out though. But that ain't the case, so we add a neck on in this baby. Same like the back, front like the back. Exactly the same, except a lot smaller, a little less white. And then I want the head to get buried in the white, so less white, a little less brown, just enough so that when you're looking at it on from the front, it looks like a little puffed out collar kind of. Ow. Let's say yeah. Kind of like he's a court jester. So we're just trying to like accent his head We get some googly eyes, not googly eyes, but we can put some eyes on there. I'm gonna make sure that if it is seen for the front, it's definitely gonna have that dominant, here's my face, boy. All right. So, we got that on and poppin'. Baby's got wings. So look at it. We even, one wrap around just on top of what was already there made it look like a little hunchback, which is pretty tight. I like. So, let me know what you think. I'd have to say it came across pretty well. We'll have to see. I'm assuming it will drop in the water slowly. Doesn't really have any weight. I kind of thought that it would have a little bit more, but it doesn't. So I'm assuming with the one that I used prior, I realized that the angles of the wings did make a difference when I was jerking it through the water, how it reacted. So I did kind of try to lay these feathers out in a pattern that I would kind of get not such a spiraling action and almost like it would be able to cruise through the water. So we'll have to see what's up with that. I will report back. Might be a little bit different since the eye on the hook is set down a little bit low. So when you're jerking it and pulling it, it will be giving more of a back thrust to pull the front up, which, might give some really good reaction here. So we just added in the fine details, get her all said and done, pop some purple eyes in there, just to accent the little bit of purple that we do have going in the wings, and we trimmed up the legs a little bit to a better length, and we also bent them in, kind of make it look a little bit more like a dragonfly leg. And that's gonna have to be it. And I was gonna add some of that green into the body, to make it dotted, but then I felt like just as I was about to do it, it would have took away from how much is already going on with this. So I thought maybe I'll leave that out. We'll have the nice brown body to kind of accentuate the front and the back and how much really is going on there. But I think I've separated everything with a good enough gap to make it look pretty good. But I'm pretty happy with this one. I had this design in my mind before I started, so I knew, it was a good opportunity to show you guys what I did here. Just in case y'all were wondering how a northern would do. Thanks for staying tuned, man. I appreciate it. Like always, I love you guys. Get buggy with me. If you make any, man, send me some pictures. I love seeing y'all work. Tackle underground. Yeah. Respect to the people that are watching my shit from there. Thank you so much. I seen your pictures. They look dope. Keep up the fucking sweet work. Stay tuned, homies. Peace.